Welcome back to another Genshin Interact video. Let us know down in the comments if this guide was helpful or if you have any other tips or questions about Furina and how you build her. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future content. If you do want to connect with us more, we do have a Discord that you can find on our main channel or in the description below. Thank you for watching, now on to the video.
The long-awaited Hydro Archon Furina makes her first appearance on the banners. With a great amount of damage off-field, healing capabilities, and ways to buff other characters makes her such a great asset. Now let's take a look at her talents and see their leveling priority. Your first talent you should level should be her skill or her burst talent. Both of these talents are very good and are going to be very necessary for Furina. First, looking at her skill, Salon Solitaire. Furina will summon either the Salon members or the Singer of Many Waters based on what Archie alignment she is in. If she is in the Uzia alignment, Furina's skill summons 3 Salon members. They will attack nearby opponents at intervals dealing hydro damage based on Furina's max HP. When they attack, if one or more characters with more than 50% HP is nearby, the members will increase their current attack's power based on the number of such characters, and consume said character's HP. If the characters who meet these requirements are 1, 2, 3, or 4, the members' attacks will deal 110, 120, 130, and 140% of their original damage. In the Numa state, Furina will summon the Singer of Many Waters. This summon will heal party members based on Furina's max HP. Furina can also switch her alignment by hitting an opponent with a charged attack. A cool feature to know and use is that Furina can walk on any body of water in Teyvat when the Salon members or the Singer of Many Waters are on field. Beyond her skill, her burst is just as necessary to level into. The burst is called Let the People Rejoice, and Furina will create a stage that will deal AoE hydro damage based on Furina's max HP as an initial hit, then cause nearby party members to enter the Universal Revelry state. While in this state, when nearby party members' HP increases or decreases, 1 fanfare point will be granted to Furina for each percentage point of their max HP by which their HP changes. At the same time, Furina will increase the damage dealt by and incoming healing bonus of all nearby party members based on the amount of fanfare she has. Also keep in mind that Furina's fanfare points will be cleared after the burst duration ends. Finally is Furina's normal attack talent. Her normal attack does not do anything special in and of itself, but it does change the Archie alignment Furina is in, like I talked about earlier, and will change her skill's summons. Since her skill and her burst are your main concern with little to no emphasis on her normal attacks until higher constellations, specifically the C6, our recommended talent level that you should go after and strive for on her are level 1 normal attack talent, level 8 skill talent, and level 8 burst talent. If you are going to ascend Furina to level 90, heavily consider going level 9 or crowning your skill and burst talents.
Looking beyond talents, we now move over to Furina's passives. Her first passive talent, Endless Waltz, states that when the active character in your party receives healing, if the source of the healing is not Furina herself and the healing overflows, then Furina will heal a nearby party member for 2% of their max HP once every 2 seconds within the next 4 seconds. Her second passive talent, called Unheard Confession, states that every 1000 points of Furina's max HP increases Salon members' damage by 0.7% with a max of 28%, and decreases active character healing interval of Singer of Many Waters by 0.4% with a max of 16%. The max HP Furina can have to get the most out of these buffs is 40,000 max HP. After passives, we need to talk about some possible artifact sets Furina can use. Your best set is probably going to be a 4-piece Golden Troop set. The 2-piece set bonus increases elemental skill damage by 20%. The 4-piece set bonus increases elemental skill damage by another 25%, and when the character wearing the set is not on the field, elemental skill damage will be further increased by 25%. This set is a little more focused on the actual damage Furina will put out, especially when she is off field. Her 6th constellation gives her a Hydro Infusion, which might make some players wish to stay away from this set, but do keep in mind that it is still a huge buff. If you do not have a good 4-piece of this set, or you want to put your Furina to be more on-field, then you could use a combination of the following 2-piece sets. Golden Troop for elemental skill damage, Tenacity of the Millilith for HP, Voracash's Glow also for HP, Nimstream for hydro damage bonus, or Heart of Depth also for hydro damage bonus. Tenacity's 4-piece set is also a good set for Furina if you wish to go full support on her. The 2-piece will increase HP, and the 4-piece will increase attack of all party members when the wearer of the set uses a skill. Do just remember that her best set seems to be the 4-piece Golden Troop set. Going into artifact main stats and substats, our recommended way of building her is going to be getting an HP percent sans, a hydro damage bonus goblet, and a crit rate or crit damage circlet depending on your needs. Because of how well she scales off of HP, you might be able to get away with an HP percent goblet instead of a hydro damage bonus goblet and do similar if not better damage with this. If you have her weapon, you might want to focus on finding a crit rate circlet. Now looking at substats, you should focus on primarily HP percent and then crit rate and crit damage and also ER where you can get it.
Although artifact sets and artifact stats are very important, the next major part of a character's build is their weapon. Furina's best weapon will be her signature weapon, Tranquil of Splendid Waters. This weapon has a crit damage main stat of 88.2% at level 90. The abilities of this weapon will be stated at Refinement 1. When the equipping character's current HP increases or decreases, elemental skill damage dealt will be increased by 8% for 6 seconds with a max of 3 stacks, bringing it up to 24% at the max. This effect can be triggered once every 0.2 seconds. When other party members' current HP increases or decreases, the equipping character's max HP will also be increased by 14% for 6 seconds with a max of 2 stacks, bringing this up to another 28%. The Key of Cognisuit is another 5-star weapon that could do very well in Furina's hands. The weapon has a main stat of 66.2% HP at level 90, and like usual, the abilities of this weapon will also be stated at Refinement 1. HP is straight up increased by 20, and when an elemental skill hits opponents, you gain the Grand Hymn effect for 20 seconds. This effect increases the equipping character's elemental mastery by 0.12% of their max HP, with a max of 3 stacks. When this effect gains 3 stacks, or when the third stack's duration is refreshed, the elemental mastery of all nearby party members will be increased by 0.2% of the equipping character's max HP for 20 seconds. This weapon is great since Furina can work off of her already high amount of HP and turn it into elemental mastery to create even larger numbers via reactions. Other 5 stars like Primordial Jade Cutter, Mistsplitter Reforged, and even Litofoliar Incision could all be weapons that you can throw on your Furina to increase her damage in different ways. Now looking at some 4-star weapons, all at Refinement 1, I can finally be happy that this weapon has a use again. Festering Desire was the first ever event weapon that Genshin gave to its players. This weapon has an energy recharge main stat with an ability that increases skill damage and crit rate. Obviously this weapon is better suited for a Furina that needs a little boost to energy needs, and if she is the only Hydra on the team, and the ability can be used to its full extent. Another very good weapon for Furina is Wolffang from the Battle Pass. This weapon ascends into crit rate, and the ability states that the damage dealt by elemental skills and elemental bursts is increased by 16%. When an elemental skill hits an opponent, its crit rate will also be increased by 2%, and when an elemental burst hits an opponent, its crit rate will be increased by 2% as well. Both of these effects last 10 seconds separately and have a max of 4 stacks. The last 4-star weapon we will talk about is Dock Hand's Assistant. This weapon has a main stat of HP percent, and the ability states that when the wielder is healed or heals others, they will gain a stoic symbol that lasts 30 seconds up to a maximum of 3 symbols. When using their elemental skill or elemental burst, all symbols will be consumed and the roused effect will be granted for 10 seconds. For each symbol consumed, the character will gain 40 elemental mastery, and 2 seconds after the effect occurs, 2 energy per symbol consumed will be restored for the said character. The roused effect can be triggered once every 15 seconds, and symbols can be gained even when the character is not on the field, which is very useful for Furina. Probably not her best weapon in terms of an ability per se, but the main stat is extremely helpful and the ability can at least be used in some way. While her personal weapon is obviously her best in slot, it is comforting to know that there are many good solid 4-star and 5-star options for her to use.
Jumping right into Furina's Constellations, her first constellation states that Furina will gain 150 fanfare points when using her burst, and the original cap is now increased by 100. Furina's second constellation states that during her burst, Furina's fanfare gain from increases or decreases in nearby characters' HP is increased by 250%. Each point of fanfare above the limit will increase Furina's max HP by 0.35%. Her maximum max HP increase is 140%. People are leaning to say that both of these first 2 constellations are very good and might be worth it to go after in future reruns. Furina's third constellation increases her burst talent level by 3, and the 5th constellation increases her skills talent level by 3. The 4th constellation states that when the salon members from her skill hit an opponent, or when the Singer of Many Waters restores HP to the active character, Furina will restore 4 energy. This effect triggers once every 5 seconds. The sixth and final constellation on Furina states that when using her skill, Furina gains center of attention for 10 seconds. Throughout the duration, Furina's normal attacks, charged attacks, and plunging attacks are converted into Hydro damage, which cannot be overridden by any other elemental infusion. Damage is also increased by an amount equivalent to 18% of Furina's max HP. Throughout the duration, Furina's normal attacks, charge attacks, and the impact of plunging attacks will cause different effects up to every 0.1 second after hitting opponents, depending on her current Archie alignment. If she is aligned with Usia, then every 1 second, all nearby characters in the party will be healed by 4% of Furina's max HP for a duration of 2.9 seconds. Triggering this effect again will extend its duration. If she is aligned with Numa, however, then this normal attack, charged attack, or plunging attack ground impact damage will be further increased by an amount equivalent to 25% of Furina's max HP. When any of the attacks mentioned previously hit an opponent, all nearby characters in the party will consume 1% of their current HP. Also keep in mind that during the duration of each instance of Center of Attention, these effects can be triggered up to 6 times. Center of Attention will end when its effects have triggered these 6 times or when the duration expires.
Following Constellations, finally we need to look at teams that Furina can fit into. Furina seems to do really well with Hydro application and has lots of it. Because of this, she can practically fit into any team that focuses with Hydro-related reactions. The first team we thought of was a Hyper Boom team with Alhaitham, Furina, Kuki, and Nahida. The Double Dendro gives the Resonance, which increases Elemental Mastery, so this team has a lot of potential for high outputs of damage. Another team to use is a Bloom team. You could take advantage of Furina and Baiju with Kazuha and Nervalette. You might even be able to use another Bloom team with Nilou, Nahida, Furina, and Baiju. She could be viable on vaporized teams like Hu Tao, Furina, Xingqiu, and Zhongli. Many of these teams and more could work for Furina because of how well she can slot into so many different teams. Thank you for watching the video. If you have any extra tips or tricks you know or use with your own Furina, please go ahead and let us know in the comments. Also remember to go ahead and check out the Discord if you want to interact with us more. Thank you again, and we'll see you in the next one.